I see the cultural effects uh, that game has had on the world, and how people are so in love with this character, and that comes from the fact that you get to see him. Like you're watching him help people out, you're watching him kill bad people, and that is a huge difference. It's one thing to be Master Chief and you're just going around killing people, but you don't see him doing that because you are him, and there's a difference. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Afternoon, whatever time it may be. Um, I am Jester, joined with, unfortunately, my other half, Fair Steak. Um, Today, we are going to be talking about the differences between first-person games and third-person games. But wait, before you go, I swear it's interesting. I guarantee you we're going to bring up something that you have not heard about, and if you have, then you're just big brain, okay? So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start this mission up.
What?
We're going to have Fair Steak talk first about
Why do I
a
gotta go
couple,
first? Can you go
first-person
first?
games, because I said so, because I said so.
Uh...
See, guys, listen to this guy. Um, No, but he's gonna go first. Talk about some very important first-person games that are genre-defining, mind-bending, and like overall just essential to the human race and the fact that we're still alive. So,
Sure, buddy. Whatever you say, pal.
do you always have to put me down? No.
So, first-person games. We all know them. We all love them. We're clearly not playing
I
one,
don't.
but
What are they?
first-person shooter games or first-person video games, whatever, is a game in
Oh, so
which
that's
you
where
play.
FPS came from.
Can you shut the? First-person shooter games or
Uh,
first-person games in general come
Whoa.
obviously since around the dawn of time.
bro,
Of
I'm under the fucking map. What?
First-person shooters have been around since legitimately the dawn of time of any video games. It's a game in which video game where you in which you play and you are the character. In kind of a weird sense, you're him or her or whoever. You're the character because you're seeing the world in the eyes through their eyes. So you get a lot of immersion with the video game, and the environment. I think a really good genre-defining example is Halo. We'll start with like Halo CE. That was really, really immersive. You had all of the environments it provided. You had went from the Halo ring to like all the different planets to the ship, and it immersed you in its own environment. So everything you're seeing were like through the eyes of Master Chief. It really made you feel like Master Chief.
Big time.
It made you feel like the character you were playing, And for a lot of people, being Master Chief, being a badass Spartan 3 that's like going through killing people like nothing, it made you feel powerful. It made you feel, I don't want to say wanted because that sounds a little fucked up. But it definitely
Hey, it
made
makes
you
sense.
feel,
You can go with that.
yeah, it definitely made you feel like
Because
a
all the
hero.
Marines are like, "Oh my God, it's
Yeah,
Daddy!" Like,
everybody was looking up to you, and you were like you were him or her or whoever. At least in this case, you were
can I
him.
ask something?
Yes.
So in this case, you can make the claim like, since you're so involved with the world, are you ever actually worried about what Chief is doing? Or is it always just I'm Chief, like I'm fine? Has there ever been a single worry when you're playing a game or Halo that crosses your mind like that?
So are
So what I
you?
mean is like you're playing a super soldier who has a
Yes.
history of killing trillions, I feel. Uh
And it's a bit
it's
much, but
like
yeah.
not once are you controlling him or you like, "Oh man, I'm really worried." Like no. Like,
For any game, whatever action the person does, the story gives you a reason and tells you why they're doing it. The fucking story tells you why you had to fucking blow up the Halo ring because the Covenant were gonna kill everyone. Blah blah blah. So I guess in that aspect of if you're ever worried about what your character is doing, no, because I mean it gives you a reason. The story gives you a reason, I guess is the wording I'm looking for, and I think does that answer your question? Because not only are you immersed
yeah.
into the environment of what is going on, you're also immersed in the story. They're really focusing heavily on the fact that like there's cutscene. It's story oriented, which any game, yes, can be story oriented, but you kind of get to like see. I don't know if that makes any sense, and
It
I
does.
think that kind of was a little
You
off
see
of what I was
firsthand
trying to
what's
shoot.
happening.
Yeah, obviously Halo, good example. Um, I'm gonna just name off another few games, maybe talk about them if I do know them. Obviously, I don't know all these games. Um, Half-Life 2, that was another Half-Life and Half-Life 2. That was another popular one. I have never played it. I know tons and tons of people enjoyed that gaming series and like consider it absolutely goated. Titanfall 1 and 2, I will say those games.
Ah, this guy. This guy.
I'm sorry. Though, if you want to talk about immersion into any video game, Titanfall 1 and 2 did that shit so perfect because you were genuinely in, like, it was, I guess, more for Titanfall 2 than Titanfall 1 because Titanfall 1 was just kind of like, it didn't really have a campaign and the multiplayer was really fun and I loved the coloring of the multiplayer. I think it was genuinely amazing and awesome. But for Titanfall 2, the campaign, you really got to see what was going on through Jack Cooper's eyes, and you got to see both parallels and sides of being a pilot and also being just a regular militia soldier. Like I don't know if you've ever played it, Jester, but like holy shit,
No,
the
I've not.
difference
Not the
the di-
campaign, at
the
least.
difference is so like tiny, but it is impactful. When you first start out as Jack Cooper, he's a militia rifleman. He's one of the lowest ranking individuals in the militia at the time. And then I don't want to say fortunately becomes a pilot. Unfortunately, fortunately, whatever you want to look at it, he becomes a pilot. And the huge difference that happened between being a rifleman and being a pilot is like giant because when he was a rifleman, he really was like running around. There was shit going on, people dying. Admittedly, it was also they were getting attacked in the story, but shit was like rough, and he could barely escape and barely survive. But then once he became that pilot, he was going around taking down like some of the biggest, baddest motherfuckers in the IMC. And whether it's
The fuck
just
is
like a
the
whole story
IMC,
thing,
bro?
oh, the enemy faction in Titanfall 2. They're like the corporate
Gotcha.
business people of the
Of
galaxy.
course, it's corporate.
Yeah. So he was taking off some of the biggest fucking people, the IMC, like it was ease, like it was nothing to him. And so I don't know that kind of that aspect kind of gets me a little bit like,
Gets bro going.
yeah, oh, not gets me going, but like I don't know, it just kind of I'm like, damn, bro was really about that life as soon as he became a pilot, like low key, high key. So, but and with not only being immersed into the environment, I think first person shooters also do a really great example on immersing you into like what the person's doing. The I guess the actions you're taking, and I don't want to say the best example of that is Titanfall 2, but like Titanfall 2, that campaign put you through the ringer and was showing you all the different aspects that a pilot can do. You had um missions where you're just killing shit. You had missions where you were like learning how to properly like I guess parkour or use the movement in that game, which let me tell you it's not easy um to learn or master, but like once you get it down, dude, it's some of the shit you can pull is insane.
I believe it, dude.
Yeah.
No different from Apex. Well, a little different, but same shit.
Yeah. There's definitely Apex is definitely like the nerf version of movement just between Titanfall and Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2. So, but it still has some of the little gas of like, hey, by the way, we've made these really great games that no one plays anymore, and yeah, whatever. That's a whole nother. I'm not crying. You are. That's a whole nother
He's
thing.
crying already.
Some other games,
It's
Destiny
okay.
2. I mean, that's been a while. I think that's an amazing example of how good an environment can be. I mean, I know you obviously side and you have some opinions on it, but I do, from the little experience I've played with Titanfall 2, not Titanfall 2, Destiny 2, I think the environment looks absolutely like amazing. And that's just my opinion. I think like everything they've ever done, motherfucker, with the environment, at least I'm just gonna say that has been beautiful. Splitgate 1 and 2, I think those are also, I think those are really genre defining video games with mechanical wise, because I mean I don't know if you've ever played them. I haven't. I've
I
seen
played the
gameplay.
first one for 15 minutes.
I genuinely think Splitgate 2 is like the completed version. In the same weird fucked up sense of how Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2 went, I think the second version is the more complete and better version and mastered version. I've never seen gameplay of Splitgate 1, but I've seen gameplay of Splitgate 2. Jesus fucking Christ. And it looks pretty good. It looks pretty fun. So, but I think that's like a genre defining mechanic, because I mean like being able to just like being able to teleport is not, it's been around for a while. I mean, you look at Portal 1 and Portal 2, great games, but being like a shooter and like doing all this shit, to me
It
that
is cool as
seems
fuck.
pretty
But that's
badass.
being implemented into a FPS game.
Yeah, obviously there's also like Valorant and CS:GO, and I guess maybe they're not as much of a immersion as like other games, because you don't really.
I feel like Valorant is, honestly.
You think so?
I mean, their abilities and their art style, yeah. Like,
I
I don't really like the game, but I'll give it credit where it's due. Like,
Yeah,
it's it's serviceable, you know.
that's
Same
fair.
thing with like Overwatch. I think that's why people loved Overwatch 1.
There's also Back for Blood and its predecessors, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2.
The
I
real
mean,
Back for Blood.
yeah. I mean, you want to talk about like I don't want to say genre defining, but a game where people absolutely fell in love with the environment. I think it had to have been like I think it had to have been Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, because those games I've never personally played them. I've seen a lot of gameplay, but they were just such a vibe. And like,
What made those games incredible was the gameplay. Like,
yeah,
and the fact it was couch co-op too. That was just it was incredible.
yeah. I mean, I definitely like horror has always had its own immersion type. I don't play horror. I don't care if anyone calls me a bitch. Suck it.
Bro's a bitch. Bro's a
That's
bitch.
all I gotta say. But I will give uh the fact that horror is like constantly trying to define its own. I don't want to say its own genre, but trying to be different or revolutionary in its own genre, because you can only do so much with horror before it becomes maybe like um
The same shit.
the same
Stale.
shit, yeah, and then it's just like, damn, dude.
I feel like Outlast 1 did really good with that. You know, it
I
was innovative at the time.
I do definitely agree with that. Obviously, you have any of the Battlefield 1 games, the Medal of Honor games. Those are really great war games. Some of the old Call of Duty
Dude.
games. Um, I say old because everybody knows the old ones were better or whatever bullshit. I don't fucking care.
That's not even a hot take, I feel.
I think people know it at this point. You
Or at
know what
least
I
I
mean?
hope it wouldn't be, man.
Yeah.
Brother, if you're gonna call immersion being fucking Hank Hill running around in COD, I don't know, man.
Or Beavis and
You might
Butthead.
be
I think
cooked.
I think that's the funniest
Yeah,
part.
you might be cooked. Like the fact
Slightly.
that a Ninja Turtle can have Beavis and or Butthead do an execution in fucking Terminator in Call of Duty is crazy.
Get the fuck off his
I
body.
call that the Fortnite effect. Not gonna lie.
Hey, that is
I don't want to
definitely.
talk about it though.
Yeah, that's a
That could be a
huge.
video in itself, dude.
We could. We could. Let us know if you guys would want that.
The conspiracy behind Epic Games and Fortnite.
Okay. Obviously you have a lot of the Doom games too, which that was also I think another genre defining video FPS because it was not just,
I mean, yeah. Also, like the first literal FPS ever, which is kind of crazy.
was it really?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
original arcade one.
Yeah, I
I don't even
guess.
think it was arcade originally. I think it was
No, it
like NES or some shit.
no, it was yeah. No, it was computer. It was the first computer game. Let us know in the comments if you know
Really?
specific. I think so. Let us know in the comments if you know
Yeah.
specifically. Um, but no, Doom revolutionary. I mean, you have the horror, gun 'em down, demonic, in the same sense of Halo, but like, bro started out as a regular jacked up human. Maybe I know he was juiced up in the original, and then he went to hell, and then pretty much became a fucking demon god out of something like that.
You want to know what's crazy about that? Is that that game probably was scary for a lot of kids at the time. And I mean, I don't know. You put me in a locked room at 3 a.m. just Doom. I might get a little like on edge because the vibes and just
Yeah,
only listening to the sound.
and just the amount
Um,
of
it's just crazy.
now, like the music.
I
Well,
guess to show you the testament though.
I guess the music in the older was not. I don't want to say not as good, but not as fucking heavy as the newer ones are. Which that's another thing. I think music plays such an important role in
Yeah.
the
Yeah, it
immersion.
does, dude.
I guess of any game, but like when you're talking about first person shooters, there is nothing more hype. And I'm saying this because that's probably one of my favorite memories of playing a Halo game. Halo 2, um,
Electric Boogaloo.
no, I'm forgetting the mission. Halo 2 Delta Halo. After you lower down the bridge, if you know, you know, you get a Scorpion tank. You get in that Scorpion tank, and what song plays? Pearl. Pearl is one of my favorite fucking songs. That's what it's called. Fuck you. Pearl is one of my favorite fucking songs in Halo 2 because it's such a fucking vibe. Dum 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 dum
Chat, why is he
dum
saying
dum
fuck me?
dum dum. Because fuck you. But like I think Doom, at least in newer ones, really showed that like I guess not really showed because I think music in video games has always been um hand in hand and like revolutionary in and of itself, which I have a little teaser for a topic I want to talk about. What is better? Um Video games where they have only instrumental music or video games where it's like people could create songs. I think it'd be a great debate. I think me and Justin would have tons of great points. Let us know if you'll see it. We might do it next week. I don't know.
Yeah, that would honestly go crazy.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe us, try us. Guarantee you that shit would go hard.
um but yeah, no. Like music huge in immersion. I don't know. You've played Left 4 Dead, correct?
Oh hell yeah, dude, both of them.
How is the music in that game? Cuz I feel like I never
Brother,
hear about it.
there is no music.
Is there really no music?
The only music you get are like the special infected, like the hunter screech. You get the main menu music. Anytime you're in
The
a
main
save
menu
room,
music.
most of the time it's just creepy ass noises you hear. Like it's ridiculous.
I think that
But when you're playing with friends or cousins, you don't give a fuck and you don't care. It's just like. But when you're playing that shit on your own, nah, that's different. Like,
I think genuinely back in the day that helped with how fucking
oh, it did, dude.
like
It's no different with like Minecraft. Like the music in
yeah.
that game is beyond generational. Yeah, music is so important that Call of Duty Ghosts had to get Eminem, on their game to
They
to hype it
did
up.
Berserk. Not Berserk. What is the fucking song called?
Monster,
No.
Venom, something like that.
No, it's I think it's Berserk.
Yeah,
Um
go berserk all night long in a rocket. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Which I do genuinely think that like you can have good songs like there are plenty of examples where it's like, yeah, if someone is rapping or if someone creates their own song for the video game, that can be like fucking generational. I mean, a little bit of a side tangent. Devil May Cry having their own, some of their own music themes. Obviously, Dante, Nero, and Virgil. Generational. I fucking love Nero's song, and yes, obviously the one that everyone loves, "Bury the Light."
The one,
Yes,
the song.
"Bury the Light" for Virgil, I think is fucking amazing and
Bro, I haven't even played the
insane.
fucking game, but just knowing the dynamic between Dante and Virgil, and when you listen to the song lyrics, absolute cinema.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I need to play through those games.
So yeah, that's just a little, I guess, a little teaser for what we could be talking about because we can go on and on about that, but that'd be divulging from the current topic. Some other games,
Good.
obviously, Far Cry. I've never played any of them. I know you're such a Far Cry. I'm just gonna call you that, but it's gonna be beep,
Okay,
so nobody's
okay.
gonna know I
No,
called you.
no, no. Old Far Cry, yes. Old Far Cry, yes. Far Cry 3 is one of the best video games ever. Don't care what people say. And Far Cry 4 was good. It wasn't bad by any means, but it was definitely worse than 3. And then Far Cry 5 we don't talk about, even though it's okay. And then Far Cry 6 you just doesn't exist, you know.
Crazy,
Generic Ubisoft slop at that point.
crazy. But no, I think those games definitely had a huge immersion. I mean, being on the whole island thing, an island theme. I think it gives such a deceiving parallel of you may be in a paradise, but are you really in paradise? And not the song by Scrim. I'm talking about, you know, if you know, you know. I'm talking about the
No, I
actual.
didn't know.
Yeah, fuck you. I was trying to make a funny joke. It didn't obviously work. So yeah, but like I said, I've never played any of the Far Cry, so I don't know a lot.
Man, is it just me, guys? Chat, or like, does Fair State need to fucking play some games?
You need to play some fucking
Sounds like
games.
bro's missing out on peak.
You're missing out on peak.
Yeah, but comparatively,
Talk to
like,
me when you play Titanfall 2.
man,
I have a stalker on me. I'm scared.
we have together.
What do you mean?
We've literally played together.
Titanfall 2?
Yes,
When?
a couple years ago.
No, we did not. That was
But there's
I
a
was
whole
not
phase
with.
we went through.
No, no, that was with you and
Yes.
Colin. I didn't know.
You're just being a bitch.
Anyway, I was gonna pop a hell bomb.
Yeah, what you thought. All right,
But yeah, and
that's what you get.
okay. R6,
No,
I also believe is another, and this may be controversial because
okay.
obviously the game's a little controversial, but I do think Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege is very immersive. I mean, you look at it gives I guess in the best way some of the modern realistic military shit, you know, in the best way possible. Anyway, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I don't know.
No, it's not about your parents, you know, because your parents have served. Yeah.
Yes, I know, and your parents have also served, so I guess, but I don't want to say I'm the most like knowledgeable. Obviously, anybody can be an expert on anything if they do enough research. So, but I think in terms of modern times, I think but yeah,
It
I
was
think
rigged
in
from the
modern
start.
day war games, Rainbow Six Siege is probably the closest. We haven't. I mean, Battlefront 2049,
2042.
2042, whatever, maybe. But I mean, obviously everyone knows COD is very not what it used to be. So
Yeah, Battlefield was still good. It was still an okay game. It's ruined by hackers and whatever.
everything is
You
ruined
know.
by hackers.
I
If you
actually like
think about it.
2042.
I think it is very much, it can be enjoyed. But you know,
I just wish I got
people,
to play it more.
and this is just being brutally honest. Gamers are respectfully some of the most spoiled, disrespectful, wham, I want this,
Oh,
brats in the world. I don't care what you say. Fight me.
don't say that. We're gonna get canceled.
It's being
Oh my
honest.
god, our career's over.
I do. Some gamers have some valid points about video games. Most definitely. I think there's a lot of fucked up what some companies and big companies are doing is really fucked up, especially with the whole stop killing games movement. Because update, they're trying to say, oh no, what you're doing is bad. Stop killing games is bad, which obviously they're misrepresenting and trying to deceive people. Um, to not sign it because God forbid they actually fucking do something. And I don't know if you heard, but Ubisoft updated their TOS to where if they shut down a game, you have to delete the game
Wild.
and
And I'm
delete.
so not surprised.
Yeah, so you know,
And guys, real quick, this is why, if you're on console at least, disc is better. Because you actually fucking own it.
you do.
And that, I think that is becoming way more prevalent now. Because don't get me wrong, it is way more convenient to have a whole library of digital games. But at least you fucking can say you confidently own a fucking disc
Video game.
game. You
Yeah.
know?
No, I think that's a whole bunch of bullshit, but that's another that is another topic. No, that's another topic, and we're
What?
divulging a little
Disc?
bit. Nah, yeah, that whole shit with what
Disc
AAA
is
games are
real, dude.
doing. I think what will always make first-person shooter games amazing is their immersiveness
Yo, so I
and
just got
not.
obliterated by two stalkers.
I'm out of ammo. It's all about immersion, and so many games go through it in different ways, and so many games have done it perfectly. So many games have done it shitty. It's all about building something that the viewers are going to look back on when playing. Not even look back on when playing, but kind of sit there while playing and be like, "Holy shit, this is fucking amazing." I feel like Master Chief. I feel like um Doom guy. I feel like a fucking what's the fucking Destiny classes? I forget.
Hunter, Vanguard,
I feel
Titan.
like a hunter.
Wait,
I
what?
feel like a
Don't,
titan.
no, I just got rivals infected by
Okay.
rivals. It's Warlock, Hunter, and Titan.
Yeah. I feel like a warlock. You know, it's putting yourself in the eyes of them,
Finna thunder crash on you. Anyways,
and
those who know.
it's not only story orientated, but it's also environmental oriented. I guess all games are like that, but I genuinely think it's also like dialogue, like what they're saying and how people say shit is also an important feature because if Master Chief was just a boring old um regular guy, like I feel like you can't really get immersed in that because there's no way, like, yes, it kind of does take the aspect of like, oh yeah, Master Chief's he plays that stoic, I'm a badass, I know what the fuck I am, I'm a machine type shit, but he also like kind of leans into the trying to be a human aspect later on, obviously. So, and there's a whole bunch of like evolution with that. You know, you even have like Modern Warfare. Was it Modern Warfare 2 where you play as Private Ramirez?
Yeah,
Yeah, you play
the
as
goat.
Private Ramirez. I think people love that because he was such a
He's
stoic.
just a regular
He
guy.
was a regular guy doing what he was told, and that was about it. That was all he was doing. There was nothing special about him. You know, you didn't really like get that special nature from him through words, but in actions. So, civilians, fucking run, please, for the love of God.
We did it. We saved the day.
But yeah, I think those are all my points for first person. I know this was a little chalky. Um, Definitely could have gone a lot better, but there's not much you can say about first
You
persons.
know, sometimes we just have our days. You know.
Yeah, there's not much you can say about first person shooters without just bringing up the immersion, the how it's played, what you're doing. There's very little points, and everyone kind of like, at least gamers
Oh, I'm
kind
dead.
of gets it in the sense that we've all played our fair share of FPS, and if you haven't, um, I'd say go check it out. I mean, there's a lot of great first person games, not just first person shooters, but first person games.
They do offer, you know, their different
There's a whole
areas
quintessential.
of expertise.
Yeah. So maybe look a couple up. Maybe ask a friend or a buddy. And see what you think. Um, Jesse, do you have anything to add before?
Negative. I am so excited to talk about third person games,
I
guys.
know
It's
you are
not even
because
funny. The
you.
key difference, okay? Y'all gotta listen up. Peep game lock in, okay? I'm gonna tell you the secret right now.
He ain't gonna tell you the secret.
The key difference between I listen, trust. The key difference is that first person games, obviously, you get immersed with the world. But with third person, you get immersed with the character you're playing. I know, jaw dropping, right? Because you're like, how? That doesn't make sense. You already do that with the first. No, first person does that at a fraction of the power that third person does, and
That
I'm
is
gonna
fair.
explain it. All right. So hear me out. Red Dead 2. Now we all know you could play it in first person, and I would bet a lot of things that majority of people play it in third. And you get immersed with Arthur as a character, and we know this, you know. And I don't even want to talk about what happens because there are people that haven't played the game, you know, me being one of them. But I know what happens, you know. But like I see the cultural effects uh, that game has had on the world and how people are so in love with this character, and that comes from the fact that you get to see him. Like you're watching him help people out. You're watching him kill bad people, and that is a huge difference. You know, it's one thing to be Master Chief and you're just going around killing people, but you don't see him doing that because you are him, and there's a difference. You know, and people, you know, besides the obvious jokes of like, oh, he's literally me. Like Arthur Morgan is an entire entity to himself, where people are like, they could see themselves in him, but what they really see is like, you know, a cowboy trying to do good before it's too late,
Just a
and
man trying
that's
to
what it comes
be
down to,
good in this heartbreaking
and it's
world.
fucking awesome. And then you got fucking, it's incredible. You got games like Silent Hill 2, right? Very scary game. If you played it, you know, you know. Um, that game gets you immersed with James Sunderland on a crazy level, because what you're seeing is what he's seeing, and he doesn't have a lot of reactions to certain things where you are, you know. And when you're playing as him, you realize like, okay, even though you're in a fucked up place, you got to be a certain level of fucked up to be like James and not give a fuck about what's happening, other than surface level. Like, oh, I'm gonna get hurt, you know.
Yeah.
Like throughout the game, he's constantly telling other people, it's not safe here, you know, and he's reminding them because they'll say the same thing to him. And he's like, then what are you still doing here? He's like, I have to be here. And he's like, I have to find my wife. You know, I'm pretty sure if you know, you know. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it goes down to the thing of like, you get immersed with the character, and it's because of that that a lot of people um, get it wrong when it comes to Silent Hill 2 and what the game is about. You know, he okay. Spoiler warning. Um, People often think that James, for some reason, killed his wife as a mercy kill. That is unfortunately not the truth. James killed her because he didn't want to deal with it anymore. He couldn't handle seeing her sick. It's not that he couldn't handle seeing her sick because he loved her. It's because he fucking hated her, and that's canon, you know. But people just see the surface level. You know, again, you're playing as James, who's always nonchalant, and people take a more nonchalant approach to this twist, maybe. And I think the remake put it perfectly of like showing the kind of shitty that James was, um, for people to see, and it's just important. But you know, you got games like Tomb Raider, you know, or the Survivor series specifically. You know, you see Laura lock in Lara, and it's unfortunate. You know, the third game, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I see what they're going with the story. It didn't quite hit its mark, but I think it did enough because you're so connected to Lara. Um, you see where they're coming from and how she feels guilt about a lot of things. You know, survivor's guilt, if you will. No pun intended, because of Survivor Series. But I think it's very important, and I think one of the best examples I could give, you know, to prove this point, if there's anybody still doubting me, is games like Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like it's yes, you get enthralled with the character, and Elden Ring is a prime example of being enthralled with the world as well. You get to play a character, and I guarantee you, if you're first person taking down all these bosses, I don't think it hit as hard because you don't see yourself being the little guy.
I
You know,
think, well,
same thing with Bloodborne, and then you got your other games like Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
a little cut
You know,
off.
it's third person. How would you like?
I
What do
don't
you
mean to
think?
interrupt you. I think with Elden Ring, what makes it so, because you were also talking about um obviously the character. I think for Elden Ring, you're it's kind of different from I think the other Souls born or Souls like games because I think for the most part you kind of have a name, right? For I mean, Bloodborne, aren't you like a puppet or something? Um, for like
All right.
well, I don't know I know there's a name because I know for Dark Souls 3 you're like the Ashen one or something.
Yeah,
So like you kind of have these titles that can represent one character. But for Elden Ring, you're almost like you're the tarnished, right? Anybody can be tarnished, and so you kind of create your own character to be tarnished, right? So I guess that's more immersive of like that actual person and you get to create them and what they look like compared to like the
exactly.
other
And
Soulsborne or Souls like where it's just kind of like you play as someone. I don't know. I don't know if you kind of
I'm
got
I'm
my
not
point.
trying to argue against you with that,
But you
but I
will.
would argue almost every FromSoft game is like Elden Ring in that aspect. You know, like
That's fair.
the
Yeah.
first game you had, fuck, what were they called, guys? The Chosen Undead. You know, you play as the Chosen Undead, and spoiler alert, you know, end of the game, you sacrifice yourself to keep the frenzy flame alive. You know, like that's no different than the Tarnished, right? He has his own duty. Same thing with the Ashen one. You still choose your own character, you still make your own shit, but he's the one who, you know, at the end of the game, is fighting a kind of borderline same thing as Dark Souls one,
Yeah.
but and then you got Bloodborne, my favorite. Go figure. Where you're the hunter, and
The hunter, that's what it was.
I don't know. That one doesn't really feel like there are other hunters. You know what? No, it's the same shit. What am I talking about? Like that's just FromSoft, you know, and it's through you making your own character and you being able to see that character. That's why it always feels like the biggest accomplishment when you beat a boss, because you're like, wow, I fucking did that. I beat some dude that was literally 50 feet tall. You know, I've beat a literal dragon, and you
Yeah.
might not. I'm telling you, you won't feel that same way if you did it in Titanfall. Notice, like,
I do yeah,
and
I
it's
do
just
genuinely get that, yeah. That little feeling because instead
yeah,
of being Jack Cooper, being someone who's established, you are yourself.
exactly. Like that's why I think FromSoft has been so successful. Um, Apart from just having good, you know, core
Good games.
mechanics of a game. Um, but yeah, like I think that's important. It's huge, and it's such an important aspect of it. You know, and like even switching to games real quick. Let's take it in a completely different direction. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Bro, you feel like whoever you're playing. When I get dressed up in my 501st like clone armor, running around as heavy, that's all I
Yeah.
am. You know?
Yeah.
Like I'm not over here like, man, I'm Master Chief. Like, no. I
Well, I mean
I am him. I am expendable.
there's also another
I
thing
will die.
of that where you kind of in the campaign. I don't know if you've ever played the Battlefront 2 campaign. It was kind of mid. It really could have been better, but I do think they did okay with what they were trying to go with. like I said, okay, mid at best. I played it, I enjoyed it. I was like, okay, that's cool. Move on. You play as Iden Versio, which is she has like an amazing story of being this like special ops commander where she's like the best of the best. She's always proven to be the best, and then she's kind of like, wait, the Empire's kind of shitty, isn't it? So and I think
She's like, wait a second.
that's a whole nother thing of like playing, like you said, playing another character and kind of seeing the world through their eyes. I think that would be more or less like almost a first-person game because yes, you can switch to first or third, but you could probably play that could be like I don't say defined as a first-person game, but you know,
Exactly. And you got guys. When I say Resident Evil 2, what is the first thing you think of besides
um,
Leon? I
Raccoon
guarantee you.
City.
What is it? Can you exactly? And more specifically, RPD. The police department.
Yeah,
And that's done on purpose because, like I said, you get immersed with the world in first person, but you get immersed with the character and what they have to go through, and by extension, the world. You know, and it's just incredible, guys. The Last of Us. Yes, we love those characters dearly.
shout out
Even the
Ellie,
second game,
my favorite lesbian.
but dude, like when you play that game and you take it all I think about is the world of that game and how much I wish that could be true without all the death and destruction and despair, because that it has to be one of the most like beautifully realistically well crafted like apocalypse games ever. Not a nuclear apocalypse, but just like a
Bro's never played Fallout.
no, that's a nuclear
I know,
apocalypse.
I
Like
know.
the world of the Last of Us, their apocalypse, everything's pretty, bro. It's like, damn, bro, this is what would happen if humans weren't here. We should just die. Like it's
The
crazy.
world
It's
healing,
incredible.
crazy. Yeah, but yeah, no.
And I think you have a lot more moments in The Last of Us Part 2 where you kind of see what the world has to offer and like, this is scary.
This is
It's
not a
just
good
peak,
place.
guys. If you don't like The Last of Us Part 2,
You just don't like the
it's
fact that
okay.
Joel
I
died.
guess it's okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still convinced it is one of the best video games ever made. Um, yeah, the ending sucks, but like, it's kind of the point, you know. Whose fault is it? You can that could be a whole conversation. I'm not even gonna get into it. I was gonna say there's a movie. I forgot the name of the horror movie, but they subvert your expectations by having a family get tortured, and the whole time it's like they're finally gonna get their get back, and they don't, and then it's more like a joke on you for wanting to see them get hurt in the first place, and then letting them get revenge, but like that's not how it works. So it's kind of how it feels with The Last of Us Part Two in a sense. Like, yeah, you were hurt, and you want that cathartic release, but like,
You ain't gonna get it.
first off, you're not gonna get it. Why would you even want it? Type of shit.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. Another great example is Gears of War, dude. Oh my
Gears.
god, the fucking death in that game. And seeing Marcus fucking chainsaw through a locust,
Type shit.
top 5 feeling of all time, like
Bro's never
unbeatable.
played a Titanfall 2. I'm joking.
Bro, shut the fuck. Get a load of this guy, guys. Bro thinks Titanfall rules everything, buddy. What came first, Gears of War or Titanfall? All right.
Gears of War, but what defined the genre?
What genre? You're talking about two different genres. Forgive my partner here. He doesn't know what he's talking about. We're moving on. Um, but yeah, I just when you look at the core of it, you know, first person games are there to get you involved with the world. Like that is the main aspect. You're
Yeah.
going around playing as Master Chief. See the Covenant, glassing planets, seeing dead civilians everywhere.
Dead
You play
Spartans.
Left 4 Dead, fucking dead people everywhere. The world is so gone to shit. It's honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, the ambience in Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 is incredible.
Yeah.
I think very underrated and just forgotten to time. Um,
I have a question for you though. How do you feel
okay.
about mecha games, right? Because those are
So,
95% of the time played in third person, but well, not all the time. I think the most famous mecha game series I can think of is Armored Core. I know Mecha Break also just came out, which I've seen a lot of people are loving it. I might try it out. What do you think makes Mecha like third person compared to like playing it in first person? Because I mean, you look at Titanfall, it's played in first
okay,
person, but some like
when
Armored
you
Core.
hop in a mech, if you were to play first person inside of a mech, I don't necessarily think it would be the best feeling of controlling something gigantic because you wouldn't see the impact that your movements have.
Yeah.
But if you have to press all these different buttons in third person and you see every individual part moving, you kind of get that sense of like, damn, okay, I'm like actually in control of something that is like, huge as fuck and cool as fuck. Like this might be a little underrated, but Penny from Marvel Rivals, yeah, they do a good job. She might be boring to play, but they do a good job at making you feel like you are controlling a mech, you know?
Yeah.
So again, it just comes down to third person. Like that could be another example, third person with mechs. Another game that was like that, Transformers, the older games. You were third person for that shit.
Well, I
Playing as
mean,
Bumblebee was the shit.
I think
Like
that's definitely a lot different compared to a person getting inside a mech and playing as a transformer. No offense, I think
I get what you're saying, but it's similar enough in my opinion. Controlling big machine in third person.
I guess I think what makes Armored Core 6 so, and not even just Armored Core 6, the entire series, so different and so, I don't know, you need to play those games in third person is the fact that you can move hundreds of kilometers per hour. You can move fast, and you're not just in these like slow or like tiny little machines. You're in like machines big enough to like tower like these mechs we're in like Helldivers 2 right now. I mean like they're big and they're moving fast, so I do kind of get what you're saying with you can't really play them in third person because then you're or first person because you're not getting that immersion or you're not understanding the impact your movement is having because
Exactly.
I mean I'm not gonna lie, you're trying to play Armored Core 6 in first person, I feel like anybody would puke just straight up. And the
Yeah,
humans
like it's
you kind of play as, I think this is more special for Armored Core 6. You're just some dog in the most realistic fucked up way. You're a dog used to like do missions. Like you have nothing. There's no. You do make your own choices eventually, but the basis of what you are is just a dog used for war, and that's it. You are nothing special. Well, you're special, but you're nothing else. And so it really kind of that game, I think, definitely shows you and tells you just straight up like, you're nothing special. I know like the first fucking audio you hear is from your handler, which already I feel like can put a bad connotation or kind of tell you like what's going on and the fact that like you are not in control of your 100% of your actions um because you have a handler. He tells the fucking AI
let's
to
go, man. We
wake.
gotta go hit a fixer up.
Okay, not like that.
Cyberpunk reference.
The first words he tells the AI system do is to wake the dog up. And that's you. And it's like it's just kind of like, damn, I'm not even like a human.
Chat, what I
I'm not
do
even considered a
to be
human to
here?
this person. I'm a dog. So I don't know. It really might have been a bad rant, but
I get what you're saying. Like it, these might seem like subtle differences, but they're not. You know, like okay, perfect example. If you're gonna buy a car, are you gonna buy a sports car because you like the way it looks or the way it feels? the thought of you driving it, even though people might not even be able to see you, like you don't know what it looks like when you're driving, if that makes sense. You're not gonna see yourself driving.
Yeah.
You know, that's a first person experience. So when people buy a fucking car, what matters? How you feel, how the car performs. Like these are things to take into account. You know,
Yeah.
if anybody ever cares about is that they're in a Mustang, like who gives a fuck? You know?
Or that they're in a nice dark blue Camaro. That's like maybe, I don't know,
Yeah, like fuck
2020.
that guy. You know? Like who gives a shit? It's not like I'm watching myself drive that car. No, I fucking love the way it looks on the inside, right? I
Or you're
love
watching
how it
your
feels to
friend watch
drive.
it and you're extremely panicking over every single move they do or motion.
Yeah, like, just being not a bitch, um, at the end of the day. Like, guys, it gets deep, deep enough.
I will say,
But yeah, just some food for thought, Like,
as a little, but your point, yeah. I will say, so if you want to meet up over here real quick, I will say, and if you don't like truly understand what I was trying to say with the being treated as a dog in Armored Core 6, play Titanfall 2 and then play Armored Core 6. The difference is in Titanfall 2, you are a pilot, right? You and your Titan have a bond. You go out and you are trying to save the world, right? You're Jack Cooper with BT, and you're trying to save the world together. Compared to Armored Core 6, you're just some fucking mercenary dog trying to get money and buy his life away after your brain was fucking scrambled to all shit. You're literally fighting for your life compared to fighting for other people. You don't like genuinely. You could give two shits less what's going on. And there's an ending in Armored Core 6 where you just say fuck everybody. I'm fucking doing this shit, and that's like
and
everybody
you nuke
fucking
the
dies.
planet.
You don't nuke the planet. You set it on fire.
Oh, I was
Um,
joking. I have no idea what
yeah,
goes on in that
you
game.
genuinely set the entire fucking planet on fire, and everybody that you ever knew is dead except for you, and you're all flying away after you finally gotten your freedom.
Chat, can we get a hell yeah for that?
Okay, um, but no, I think that immersion in video games, and even kind of what I was saying with dialogue, is also another important thing. Because a lot of the dialogue is the reason why you felt like the way you are in Armored Core 6 and Titanfall 2.
I feel like that's true because look at Halo. Chief just gets bossed around, and you're like, all right, on to the next thing. You might not give much thought into it, and it kind of feeds into you experiencing the world a little bit more.
Yeah. So, you got anything else?
Yeah. Um,
Can you come down and help
One
me
thing I
with
wanted to
this?
say real quick. Fuck you. One thing I wanted to say real quick is why is it? Oh, because my map is fucking open. That's why I'm tagging the fucking map. Okay, let's go. Hurry up. So real quick, guys. Sorry for the delay. One thing I wanted to say is think about it like this. RE9, if anybody is interested, will be playable in both first person and or third person. And I have a friend who's gonna play it in third person because he's gonna feel more immersed with the world like that. Because Resident Evil 7 was first person, and you felt the scariness. But I'm gonna go ahead and play it in third person because I want to be more connected to Grace Ashcroft. I want to see how she responds to things and this character growth I want to physically see because the developers even said themselves that they're putting a huge emphasis on like how Grace is a fucking scaredy cat and like who can blame her, you know? She's a
Uh,
pretty regular person thrown into that shit. Um, but yeah, like it's just interesting to think about. If you were given a choice, what would you do? Why? Would you not really care about feeling immersed with the character or the world? Like, Do people just want to hop on Doom and not give a fuck about anything?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was an interesting topic or debate. You could, because when you start putting it in your head, you kind of see it in a lot of places. Where you're like, oh, so that kind of makes sense design wise. Why this is in third person. Um, and all the best single player games that I can think of, your Legends of Zelda, Metal
Third
Gear
person.
Rising.
Third person.
Yeah, they're third person. Last of Us,
Third person. But then
fucking
counter argument. Halo, Call of Duty, you know,
brother. I
Battlefield.
don't play Call of Duty for the story unless it's Black Ops One.
But you did. I'm not saying modern day Call of Duty games. I'm talking like you were saying like
Yeah,
solo
I'm not saying
games.
that first person games don't have their place. They do. You got Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
fucking phenomenal video game. And again, they immerse you with Night City. They don't really give a fuck about V. Um, or my goat David. You know what? Fuck David. I hate David Martinez. Fuck that
You
guy.
just hate the
Bro had everything. Was just being a bitch. He had everything. He had it all. He's just being a bitch. Being too much of a man. Anyways.
says the man. Sorry.
Yeah, so that should tell you something. Like, buddy, learn when to stop, maybe. Like, just go light on your load for a little bit. Like, bro. Okay, anyways. But yeah, just wanted to put that out there. These differences are important because it's what gets you to feel and realize certain things without even, consciously doing it. Subconsciously, you pick up on it, and it's just fun to explore and poke around with.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of the evolution of gaming has always kind of been its first and third person, and it always will be. Second
Yeah,
person, I know people like kind of
doesn't exist.
eh, very rarely exists, and there's one good example of this game. I don't know the game name of it, I forget, but you're watching yourself from a different car's perspective drive it.
Oh my god, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know a
They
lot of
didn't even
people.
mean to do that. That's the best part.
They didn't.
No, that was like a mission for a video game. And it was just like a cool like perspective shift they did, but it they like entirely accidentally made it second person. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So at the end of the day, I think if you take the time, if you take anything out of this, maybe take the time to like look at the game you're playing and kind of like see the difference when you're playing a third person compared to a first person. So
Yeah, just ask yourself how you feel.
how
Like,
does it
damn,
immerse
it
you?
was awesome killing a boss. Why did I like that?
It's because he was
And
hot.
more surface level than just you killed a boss,
Yeah.
Like damn, I love Leon Kennedy for all the Resident Evil fangirls out there. Why do I
So
love Leon?
hot.
Maybe because you get to fucking see him, you know? Like,
that is
just
a
some food for
valid.
thought.
Yeah. But yes, it's that time. I have been on fair steak.
He's fair enough.
I'm getting fucked up right now. And I think you guys know what I'm about to say. Stay passionate, y'all. Every day's a new day. Enjoy life. Get some sun. Don't forget.
I'm getting fucked in a corner.
Enjoy your summer. Um, or whatever break. If you're in school, enjoy that. If you have a job, maybe enjoy kind of the little days you have off. Try out a new game. I highly recommend Halo, Titanfall 2. Always will.
Enjoy the job you have. You
Yeah.
know,
Try to enjoy life to the
just
best of
learn to
your
enjoy
ability.
life.
It is a bit rough. So, but yeah, that's all I got. You got anything, Jester?
Guys, play more video games. I don't care if it's single player, multiplayer. There's something to take away from everything. I highly recommend though you play single player games because they're peak experiences and will always be better than playing multiplayer. And that is coming from someone who exclusively plays multiplayer. But my point is, Resident Evil's the goated series. Anyways, moving on. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you for watching. If you did watch to the end, you forgot to say that, and you forgot to be like, "You're the goat. You're the king."
Yeah, you are the reason why I do. And sorry I didn't say that because I got sidetracked with the goat being Resident Evil. But I hope you guys understand.
I don't think they understand. I don't think they care. We're slowly fading away
Well,
anyway.
you know what? If maybe if they played the game, they'd understand. All right.
Maybe if you stop being a bitch and get some bitches on your dick.
Nope. RE5 is the best Resident Evil.